Hello and welcome back to Caravan Escapades. Thank you very much for joining us. If it's your first time here, a very big warm welcome to you. If you're one of our subscribers, thank you very much. If you haven't considered subscribing yet, please do so. That would be very much appreciated. So we're off on another adventure. Are we ready, gang?
Yes.
We're off to Incelboro Fields at West Runton, the Caravan and Motorhome Club site over in Norfolk. We have been there before, but it was about 4 years ago, something like that, 4 or 5 years ago. So we're off there again. We're really looking forward to it. It's actually not that long ago since we were away in the caravan. We've only been back, I think, a couple of weeks from Cornwall, from Lewin, Cornwall. But we're off again, so we're looking forward to it, and we'll keep you updated on our adventure. Well, welcome back. It's been a bit of a long old journey, really. It's taken us about 3 hours 45 minutes to get over from Nottingham, and we seem to have had a bit of a mistake, a missed journey or whatever on the way back, and we've ended up on some narrow lanes. We're literally about half a mile away from Incelboro Fields now, so I'm kind of not quite sure what's happened. Probably a little bit too much reliance on the use of sat-nav. So unfortunately, as you can see from the front, there's a nice man in a truck who's reversing back for us to let us go by.
Daddy's car.
So that's very kind of him.
Daddy, it's the same make as your car.
It is, it's a Mercedes as well. It's the same make as my car. So we shall just pull over one side and let these come through. So just be warned, probably my fault, to be fair, that we've ended up coming down a lane like this. But if you just take your time and take it steady, it is kind of wide enough with passing places and things like that anyway. But I guess just try and avoid that. I think Claire and I were sort of chatting away, and we probably didn't follow the sat-nav. The sat-nav should have, because I've got the Avtex Tourer as well anyway, so that should avoid all the routes and things like that. And actually, I'd probably, just to get back en route, I went against it. So there's a lesson learned there, definitely. So we literally are not too far away at all now, 0.2 of a mile. So I know where we are, Claire, because this is where you would come off the main road and up normally. We walked up here when we were here last time.
My nanny
walked up. So I think the turning, yeah, we've come in from the back way. So the turning for the for turning for the Caravan and Motorhome Club site is just up here on the right. You would normally come up and turn left. Basically, this is a golf course as well on the right, and for those that don't know, Incelboro Fields is literally a site in the middle of the golf course, and it's like a horseshoe which goes around the golf course. Here's the entrance to the site here.
Yeah, we should have come up there.
Yeah, we should have come the other way and over the Humpback Bridge. So I know what we've done. We obviously just got sort of distracted. So here's the site here.
And there's a pub in front of us.
There is a narrow lane. That is something else to be aware of. That arrivals is from 1 o'clock onwards, because there is a narrow lane, as you can see. There's the golf course on the right hand side.
Oh, Daddy, can we play that?
Can we play golf? I think that's proper golf, Darcy May, not sort of pitch and putt, but we'll have a look. Maybe we can give it a go. It's not crazy golf, definitely not. But as you can see, this is a narrow lane which leads up to the site anyway. There are some residential houses on the right hand side, but we shall follow it in and keep recording till we get there. But again, sorry, I was just going back to what I was saying. So it is quite a strict 1 PM arrivals, and no arrivals before 1 PM, I think, just to allow all those leaving the site so they can get off. You probably can't see it from here. You might be able to see it. We can just see the sea to the right hand side at West Runton.
Look out the window on the left.
And the entrance to the site is just up here.
See, Daddy. You couldn't see the sea.
Well, we'll take you and show you the sea in a bit, Darcy, mate. Let's get on, let's get set up and get sorted.
Then go and see the sea.
We can have a drive down or a walk down and see the sea, definitely.
Daddy, have we been
So we're just coming up to the reception area now, or the arrivals area, to do the check-in. So once we've got there, we'll get checked in, I'll get set up and what have you, and we shall come back to you at some point soon. So just avoid the fence post, because it's quite a narrow-ish gateway. So we'll just pull up here onto the right hand side.
When you come into the campsite, there's like little,
and then we'll just pull round to where it says stop, to where this lady is stood. So there we go, we're here. I shall await to go in and see the wardens because it's one in at a time.
Can I come on?
And
No,
we
babe,
shall, no, it's one at a time, unfortunately, Darcy May. So one at a time, we'll get set up, we'll get sorted, and we'll see you later on. Good morning, it's Saturday morning and we're here at Incelboro Fields. It's not Saturday morning at all. Good morning, it's Friday morning and we're here at Incelboro Fields, West Runton in Norfolk at the Caravan and Motorhome Club site. We arrived yesterday, as you saw on the video, and we're all now set up and ready. Basically, the Incelboro Fields site is a big horseshoe which goes around a golf course, but off that horseshoe are, I kind of guess you'd call them little cul-de-sacs, things like that. So we've set up in one of them. We're in a little cul-de-sac which I think takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vans, possibly 4 vans. So we're kind of set up there now. If you can see, this is our setup here. There's another van, there's another pitch there, another pitch there, and then one there, and then basically we're just down from the road coming down the hill there. So that's us all set up. We're quite close, we're quite happy. Weather's a little bit grey at the moment, as you can see, but hopefully that will pick up over the bank holiday weekend. But we're here, we're in the caravan. We had a little bit of rain last night, but we certainly enjoyed it. So we'll do a proper walk around the site, proper site review, and we'll come back to you in a bit. So if you come out of the site and just walk down the road, we've been recommended the corner house tea room. So we're going to give that a go. It's a very, very quick and easy walk just from the site. Basically come out the lane at the end, turn right, walk over the bridge, and it's down by the site. So we're going to come and give that a go now and see what that's like. So we shall let you know. So as you can see, this is the front of the tea room. They're doing track and trace at the moment, so we've just checked in and we're waiting to be given a table. But there are plenty of tables and chairs outside as well.
And one of the benches has been broken.
You're having to do track and trace when you're eating all night.
So we've just had our breakfast here at the tea rooms, corner house tea rooms. Yeah, very, very nice. I had a bacon sandwich, bacon and egg. Claire had bacon and mushrooms, and Darcy May, because of all her allergies, they actually really accommodated for us. So they had kind of gluten-free bread. So they kind of had gluten-free bread. What's the other stuff they had, Claire, for her?
Dairy-free butter.
Dairy-free butter and all those sorts of things.
Soy and lactose.
Dairy-free jam and dairy-free jam. What do you mean dairy-free jam? But no, they're very accommodating for allergies. So they're very accommodating for allergies and things like that. So I would definitely give it a try, give it a go. So yeah, that's the corner house tea rooms here at West Runton. So we had a little bit of a problem arriving on site. When we arrived on site and I came to unhitch, the front Alco friction pad basically fell out. It had snapped, it had broken into a couple of pieces. I think what might have happened is we had to do an emergency stop on the way here, and maybe just the force and the jolt caused it to snap. Now I'm thinking to myself, right, I've got to drive around all over the place to try and find one. As it happens, there is a very well stocked Caravan accessory shop right at the junction before you turn up to West Runton. So I'm just going to take you down here just on the right hand side. So basically coming out the road at the very end onto the main road, turn right, and it's the Caravan Camping and Leisure, the Caravan accessory shop. This is a shop here, you can see. Great range of products available inside the shop. There's all sorts there, very, very well stocked. They had loads of stuff in, camper agent, all sorts of stuff, lots and lots of spares. So if you are at Incelboro Fields, you have any issues, you have any problems, or certainly in this area, and you need caravan spares advice, the guys were really, really helpful. As it turns out, they had no stock left of the friction pads, but they've been very, very helpful and given me details of another local supplier about 8 miles away with the phone number. I phoned them up, they've got one in stock, so we're going to go over there very, very shortly and collect it. So if you do need caravan spares when you're over this way, it's the caravanaccessoryshop.co.uk. They also have a website which you can order from as well. So just while we're here, there's a few little shops as you just come out. You've got a sort of general store, post office, so all your bits and bobs. There's a Thai restaurant, the gas store, that sort of stuff. So there we go, that's just a brief one for you, and we'll catch up with you in a bit. So let's take you on a walk around the site. This is the main entrance. Obviously you saw us come in here on the early arrivals videos, so reception and information room and everything there on the right hand side, and then we'll start sort of wandering around the site. As I mentioned earlier on, the site is a big U shape or a big horseshoe shape with mainly sort of cul-de-sacs, or as they call them, terraces, shooting off with anything from sort of 3 or 4 vans up to sort of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 vans, that sort of stuff. But most of the site is a main horseshoe. Children's play park is on the right hand side, as you'll see that earlier on, but we'll take a walk around. And as you come in, you've got the first facilities block. So you've got the gents down the side there, and in fact we'll take a little quick walk in there just to kind of show you around. So you've got the gents facilities, pretty much standard caravan and motorhome club facilities. So you've got urinals, sinks, toilets, shower blocks, washing sinks. So it's all pretty much kind of standard. It's the same on 90% caravan and motorhome club sites around the UK. Facilities are very, very similar. So we'll kind of wander around. We do have the disabled facilities as well. There's also a baby and toddler washroom with a key code. Ladies facilities. You've got your pot wash area, your normal sinks, that sort of thing, and you've got your laundry. Pretty standard. In this one you've got one washing machine, one dryer, and various sinks for washing your clothes in.
Daddy, come this way.
And then round here, Darcy May's found, so you've got your wastewater and your drinking water points just here.
Toilet.
And then we've got the Elsan point at the back there.
With the toilet.
So we'll carry on wandering around the site.
These wash facilities down here are a lot newer. They're not.
The wash facilities, apparently Claire's telling me, down here are a lot newer than the shower block that we're using up near ours. So this is the main horseshoe. It carries on, pitches on either side, certainly this part, and at the first part as well there are a couple of extra rows. So just at the top here you'll turn right and turn into it and kind of loop back on yourself. So there's a couple of extra rows, probably with something like 10 caravans or 10 pitches on each row or each side of the row. So as I'm walking about, it is a big site, it's quite a way round. What I may end up doing is speeding some of this up, as I'm not going to talk all the way through. Well, I can talk all the way through if you want me to, but it might bore you.
No, I think you'll bore everybody.
Claire says I'll bore you all anyway, so. So this is what I mentioned before. You turn off to the right, and there's a couple of other
Going up here?
rows. No, there's a couple of other rows that run kind of parallel.
To the right, and last time when we was here, that place over there, in one of them pictures.
We were pitched on there on that side last time we were here. So here's your first terrace, Incelboro Terrace. There's another terrace off up to the right there. That one's level. Then we've got the second terrace up there. That terrace has got its own waste point with clean water, dirty water, but it's also got a dog wash down there as well. Sorry Claire, what was that? Oh yeah, dustbins and that sort of stuff. So that's down the bottom of that terrace. And as you can see, this side of the site does slope uphill. Now I think from up to this point here, up to this terrace on the right hand side, the caravan site is two-way traffic, but from here on in it's single traffic, single lane traffic, so you will have to basically come out the terraces and follow the horseshoe all the way around. There's another terrace that's got, I think, 5 pitches in there, and they've all got names, different names. So yeah, a terrace in there with 5 caravans. So we follow it round to the right. It horseshoe kind of snakes a little bit of left and right, that sort of stuff, but mainly a nice big horseshoe that follows the site around. And this is the terrace that we're on. I showed you that earlier on. So we're down on Buxton Terrace, down in the bottom there, 5 pitches, nice little secluded terrace.
This way, please.
So you can see off to the right, if we just turn to the right, you can see the sea, so you can see how close we are to the sea or to the coast. That's West Runton down the bottom of there. Unfortunately, you can't get a sea view from our terrace because we're quite low down and we've got trees and that sort of thing in place. But we are very, very close to the sea, and you get nice views if you take a wander around. So we'll carry on up round the site. Again, we've got other pitches on the right hand side. Certainly as we go around this section, the pitches are either invariably on the right hand side or the left hand side. Sometimes they're on both. And there's entrance to another terrace here on the right hand side with a shower block just on the right. Again, this is a shower block we've been using from our terrace just down below. Another thing, the site is intersected by public footpaths in 2 or 3 areas. So we've got a public footpath that runs that way and then kind of runs across and through the site. There is also another caravan site over there, but I don't think it's anything to do with this one. It does seem like some sort of private site, but there are quite a few caravans and things like that in there. I don't think it's anything to do with Incelboro Fields. There's also caravan storage on the right hand side, so you can pay the Caravan and Motorhome Club to store your caravan. Then we've got Holgate Terrace, which is another terrace. It's quite a small terrace if I remember rightly, this one, with a few caravans up there under the trees, that sort of thing. And then just as we come further up on the right hand side here, Darcy May spotted this when we came around, is a crocodile. And the crocodile, which is being decorated on a fallen log. So you've got the crocodile there. Yeah, the pitches start to get, or the terraces start to get a little bit sporadic now. So another terrace just on the right hand side there as we kind of wander around. And there are what looks like some sort of woodland walks, certainly through the woods. There's some gateways and things there. And then we carry on higher up the site. And there's looking down to some of the terraces. As you can see, they can be quite secluded. So there's some really nice peaceful bits to the site. And as you'll see as we go around, some quite busy bits as well. We're probably coming up to the highest point of the site right now. Where just in front of us is the golf course. And then further down through the trees is the sea.
Move out the way.
So we'll carry on walking down. As I said earlier, with our big horseshoe, the road does tend to snake kind of left and right. So again, another little terrace on the left hand side here just for a couple of caravans. As I said, all this section of the site is one way, and we're starting to come down to the right hand side now, or to the right hand side of the horseshoe, and kind of open up into the more busy open part of the site. Very picturesque though, coming through these trees. The sun's starting to set. And there are still some little terraces here underneath the trees, 1, 2, sort of 3, 4 vans, but very close to the larger area. And you can see as we come down, the site does start to open up. And in front of me is another one of the facilities blocks. So I think there's 3 facilities blocks on the whole of the site, and they're all pretty much the same with the layout and that sort of thing. Certainly the one we use is slightly smaller than this or the one by the main entrance, but totally adequate. Been very, very clean, very warm, very pleased with it. And you can see there's more pitches on the right hand side, and then you've probably got 3 or 4 different rows again running parallel as we start to move down to the other end of the site. And quite a few sort of caravans, motorhomes, that sort of thing on there. Again, this section is all sort of one way. So as you can see, the site certainly opens up to the right hand side there with at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 rows. Certainly here as well, there's a large grassed area with kind of a grass road in between, with caravans sort of facing front to back on the right hand side here. Various different levels. It's a little flatter around this section, although there is some slopes here, a little flat around this section compared to some of the others. What I would recommend if you are coming to Incelboro Fields is definitely bring your ramps, blocks, lock and level, that sort of thing. Not every pitch has to use them, but certainly we've had to use the lock and level again on our pitch with a couple of the stacker jacker pads underneath the front legs, just to help kind of keep it evened out. But it's, you know, it's a relatively quiet site for the fact that it's a big site. It is quite quiet. There's not too much noise. Certainly in our little area where we're stopping, it hasn't been noisy at all, Claire, has it?
Nope.
No, it's been pretty good.
Feels like we're on a little CL.
Yeah, it does. She's very right. It is like being on a little CL.
I personally prefer that to this busyness here.
Yeah.
To me, it's too busy.
Although it is busy, it's not noisy.
It's not noisy by
No.
no means. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just a lot of caravans.
Yeah. And just here on the left hand side is the children's play area, which I'm sure we're going to have to stop while Darcy May has a play.
Go round to the entrance tunnel at the top.
So mainly, there's not a lot of bits in there, but there's enough to keep the children happy, and it is fenced off as well and secure, so the children can't go charging away into the road. And then you basically just go off to the left here, and that'll go off to the left and off to the left, go up to the left or the right. They go into other terraces as well, with more pitches parked there. And we'll take a wander down to the exit once Darcy May has played on the park. Claire was just telling me that campsite that we saw on the left hand side that I wasn't sure what it was. It's actually the Caravan and Camping Club site at the West Runton. I'm not sure what it's called, but I guess you get to it a little bit further down on the main road. So it's a Caravan and Camping Club site. So just a little bit of extra information for you. We're sat here on the park waiting for Darcy May to have a play before we carry on the tour of the site.
It's actually very quiet.
It is quiet. I mean, it's compared to Loo. We were at Loo last couple of weeks ago, and the play park at Loo was incredibly noisy. In fact, people that were pitched around the play park, had the service pitches, were actually giving up the service pitches and asked to be moved to a standard pitch just because of the noise, because it was going on till sort of well after 10 o'clock. But here they're smaller children. Over there they were sort of 16 years old, 14, 15, 16 year old, that sort of thing.
There's only 7 children on here, look, and they're just chatting and playing. They're not doing anything.
It is Saturday evening. It's
order.
it's about 7:45 in the evening. So yeah, not too bad over this side.
It looks busy, but it's not.
So we'll carry on round towards the exit to the site. As you can see, it's quite open. I probably keep saying that it's quite open. I guess it's less secluded over this side, and they're all dotted around the site. It's your standard waste points that you see, or your service points that you see at all caravan and motorhome club sites. Wastewater, drinking water, and then the recycling and mixed recycling waste. So I think there's another little terrace up the back there as well. But this is the back end, or the far end of the horseshoe. So the exit, there are more pitches. Oh no, there's another block up there, so that does make 4 blocks in total. So there are 4 blocks. So what happens is we get to this exit here. Now, this is a thing to remember. If you've got here, you've driven around to try and find a pitch, and like most caravan sites, you'll kind of earmark a couple, get round and then do the loop again. What you'll have to do is basically go out through the barrier and then go all the way out and round along past the golf course and then back in again at the other side.
I wonder what.
So we'll follow it round. Single track roads. There are some private residents on the left hand side, and there are various walkways and byways as well, as I said before, which go across the site, through the site, round the site. And you kind of get to the links golf course. There's a clubhouse. Here's the bottom end of the course. You see over in the distance there, across the roofs of the houses. And then you've got to follow the road round. This road actually runs between the golf course. And you get quite a spectacular view, particularly in the early evening. You can see the sea over there. And the golf course as well. I guess if you're into your golf and you come into Incelboro Fields, it's worth bringing your golf clubs. And then we followed the road down towards the main entrance to the site. This loop, or this walk round, tried to make it not too boring for you, but rather than using the car and the dash cam to drive round and do it, I thought it'd be probably a little bit nicer to walk it round, bit of exercise as well. So I've tried to give you some commentary on the way around. I hope you found it useful. What I might do is, when I'm not talking, or if I think the talking's irrelevant, what I'll do is I'll probably speed it up a little bit and then slow it down again when there's something of interest to say. And as you can see, the road that crosses just in front of me is the main road that you saw us arrive as we came into the site. So what we've actually done is we've kind of done a big loop. We've done the horseshoe and then we've cut across the golf club behind up there. And here's one thing to remember: when you're coming round and you are leaving, this is where you drop off your barrier keys. So you drop your barrier keys off there before you leave. But if you are just driving round, and if you've driven round looking for a pitch, you've earmarked a couple, as I said, you have to go out and back in again, and you kind of turn in through here and back to the main entrance of Incelboro Fields Caravan and Motorhome Club site, West Runton Norfolk. And there's some nice little touches in the site. All the fences are decorated with beach huts and various different things. It's all very, very nice. And you've got 2 arrivals lanes, 1 through traffic lane, and the exit lane. So here is the reception area with the information room. It's nice to see actually as well now that the shop is stocked with various bits, various essentials that you'd need while you're camping, and bread and milk and things like that, and a few goodies, which I think this is the first Caravan and Motorhome Club site reception that I've seen that actually got those things in here. So you've got your telephone box, although that's out of order at the moment. So telephone box, information room. We'll take a quick look in the information room. So information room, just switch the light on. There we go. Defibrillating here, but leaflets and various things of what's going on around the site. A few maps and things like that. Oh, there's a big shopping retail park somewhere, I guess. Adventureland. Not that we're away to do that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll head back out the door here. You can go in, Darcy, and have a look if you want. Reception in, reception exit. Still wearing face masks at the time. And then we're back to the entrance barrier. So I hope you found that useful. That was a bit of a walk round. We'll leave it there and we'll catch up with you in a bit. So, as promised, back at the Caravan, barbecue's underway. It's a little bit grey and kind of overcast, but we'll make the most of it. We've got the awning all set up, ready. So we've got some pork sausages on there, some minted lamb, kebabs, burgers, and some pork, I forget what you call them. Anyway, but that's all on there. That's all cooking away nicely. Claire's in the Caravan sorting out some salad, that sort of stuff. So I'm looking forward to the barbecue. Well, we're all packed up after our long weekend here at Incelboro Fields. Just a few little bits left to do. The lock and level is taking the air out so that we can sort that up. Front covers on, a few last little bits, legs up, and then we can basically be ready, get hitched up and go. Have we had a good weekend at Incelboro Fields? Yeah, I think we have. It's not been too bad. The weather's been a little bit poor, but we've managed to make the most of it. We've managed to go and explore. We've been to Sheringham and Holt and Cromer and things like that. So yeah, we've had a good time. We've enjoyed it. Definitely, if you want a quiet life, come to the first side of the camp. If you want a bit more sort of noise, entertainment, busyness, you want to go to the other side. So that's us. We're just about to kind of hitch up. We'll get hitched up and we'll get on our way. Well, that's been an eventful journey. We're nearly back home in Cotgrave, Nottingham. It's taken us somewhere in the region of sort of 4.5 to 5 hours to get back. We have had a couple of stops. We stopped to sort of grab something to eat, but the journey should normally take something like sort of 2.5 hours. I have found though that even without the Caravan, when we're heading across to sort of the Norfolk area, it can be a kind of slow trek of a journey. I guess there's just really because there's no great roads over there. There was several bumps, several problems with traffic, and it was busy around the Kings Lynn area, I think because it's bank holiday weekend as well. But we're nearly home. We're a mile or so away from home now. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave some comments below. We love to interact with you guys. Sorry, just concentrating around the roundabout. So as I say, we love to interact with you guys. So please, if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing and sharing, and if you hit the notification bell, you'll get notified when we upload more videos. So that's another one from Caravan Escapades. Thank you very much for watching. Happy camping, and we'll see you on the next one.